Good evening, everyone. This is Henry Gambell with SimplerOptions.com, and in tonight's free video I have a very simple but straightforward pick for you, and I wanted to look here at Wingstop. So when I look at Wingstop, I've been covering this in the chat room quite a bit too, and I think it's interesting to look at. Now you can dive down into this and do it with a lot more detail, but to some degree you could hand this chart to a 5-year-old and say, do you see a pattern here? And in my mind, I just feel like these moves that you've seen, not only in price but also in time, kind of have a striking similarity to each other. If you go in and drill down, you could find exactly how many days down they were in comparison, etc. But it's basically to say that I feel like these corrective patterns have generally been pretty beneficial for the stock. It's another way of reiterating a very basic concept with trading, which is to say I like to buy patterns of higher highs and higher lows. Higher highs and higher lows. Now, we did not make the new high here, but we did make a higher low here, and I feel like to some degree the psychological area of support against 50 should be helpful. So I've been trying to buy Wing all week, and I've kind of been in and out of it, but what you saw here at the end of the day on Friday was really exactly what you like to see confirm. You've got a little bit better than average volume. You've got the squeeze momentum that has shifted direction, and all in one single session, you recovered the 50-day, the 8, and the 21. So I think you've got several different reasons to be looking at Wing to the long side. I would also say, sometimes you look at these charts and we prefer, I think as traders you like having the real shallow pullback, so ideally you don't have to hold through so much heat. But in this spot where you had a very significant correction down into these lows, that can actually be helpful because it will give you a more sizable extension. If the pullback was very modest, well then your extension is going to be very modest. When you have a pretty decent pullback like 56 down into the low of 48, well, that's going to help you have more targets or more meaningful targets. So swing high to swing low here, targeting that up into 57.83 as long as we do not break the lows that were put in at 49.28. And I think this is a good active swing trade that you can be looking at as you get into next week. One course that will be going on next week, I wanted to make sure you guys were aware of, is John's Strategic Indicator Bundles course. So what he's going to be doing with this is taking some time to go through some live trading and show how he is using the combination of some of these indicators that have been very helpful here lately. We've had a lot of great feedback on them. I think they give you a really great way to interpret the market as opposed to just looking at the workspaces you may be used to. It does a very good job of tying a lot of information into a fairly small and lightweight workspace. So if that's something you're interested in, you can find that there at the homepage of Simpler Trading. I hope to see you guys at the webinar next week, and we'll take it from there.